there for me.
It's like what's sticking out.
Yeah.
I've got the bottom done here. This is your bottom, and now I'm bringing the sides up. And when this gets brought up, it's going to look like one of these. So right now I'm just doing the natural before I start putting the color into it. I like to use a lot of colors in my baskets. And then of course I've got the iron handles that we come up with some different ones every year. We try to come up with something new.
It's probably expensive. It's probably expensive.
The baskets with the handles, that's pretty neat, and it really is.
It's nice because it's nice for us to have something like this together. You know, you don't see a lot of that, and we get a lot of compliments on the fact that, you know, both of our things can go together like they do. So a lot of people are really, they like that. And it's kind of surprising because people will come in with their husbands, and the husbands will start looking at the baskets and tell the wife, let's do one of them baskets because then I got something from him and you got something from her. So it works out kind of neat like that. That they get something from both of us that way.
I notice you got them clothespins there. Does that,
that clothespin
keep that to hold your...
That's my third hand there. Because you just can't, the first 2 or 3 rows of a basket are always the hardest because you just can't hold everything the way you want it. So you grab a few clothespins and hope for the best. And after you get a few rows up, then take them out. There's my first 2 rows. I'll have to tighten it. Right there goes your first 2 rows in. Now I have to get my color green out and get started with my color green. I'm not quite sure what I was going to do yet. I dye all my own reed, so all my colors I dye and come up with. That way I get to use a pretty big assortment of colors that way.
Depending on the size of the basket, I know it takes quite a bit of time to, about how much time to take to put a basket together complete.
Yeah, depends on the basket. These small ones will go pretty fast. Probably, you know, if without distractions, a couple hours. You know, I've got some baskets that take up to 8 hours. So it depends on the baskets. I mean, I've got some knitting baskets that have pearls on the bottoms. Well, those take a while because you're putting all the pearls on them and stuff. So those take a while. And some of them have different, you know, they're all, I don't use a mold for nothing. So everything is shaped, you know, just by me. So you really got to pay a lot of attention on certain baskets. So that makes you go a little slower because you definitely don't want to, you know, mess up the shape of it. And if you do, that means you're taking out and starting over sometimes to get it back to where you want it, you know, and stuff. So, and then you always got to kind of check your baskets and keep your spokes straight because if you don't, after a while, you can have a big mess on your hands to try to kind of fix up later.
Well, I've got to ask, in the background there, I see a piece of iron there that Pat had made there and looks like a snake all coiled up. When you reach back there, do you ever think there's a snake back there and everything in your basket?
No, I've gotten so used to him hiding them. No.
Snakes all over the house.
They're on the house, they're all over his shop, and sometimes somebody new will come in his shop and they'll be just fine, and all of a sudden you'll see him take a step back, and then they shake their head because then they know it's iron, you know, but it catches them at first. Once in a while he might get me, but very seldom anymore. And he's always trying to get the grandkids. And the one son, he don't like snakes at all. And he's always growling at his dad for moving something around. So we have a lot of fun.
Well, that's good.
And the kids are used to us, so Dad's at it again or something is what they'll say.
Well, it seems like both of y'all are very talented in what you do.
Oh, well, thank you. It's easy to do something when you enjoy it, you know. And I thoroughly enjoy doing this for sure.
Like a 10-year-old.
Now you can see I got the third row in, and a lot of it's staying in place better now. I'll still have to pack it, but you can see how this is all kind of starting to get its shape and stay where I want it to stay, and I won't have to use the clothespins no more. I'll just have to kind of go along and keep my spokes nice and straight and do it like that. So it's working out pretty good. I like to weave in my lab after I get a couple of those done. It just seems like you have a lot more control over what you're doing, and you can just kind of pay attention better to how things are.
How long have you been doing your baskets?
About 10 years now. My favorite question is, how sore do your hands get? And it's like, they don't. And everybody thinks I'm supposed to have sore hands or a lot of splinters, and I don't. You know, white oak baskets, you're cutting down your own trees, and I don't want to cut down trees. All I want to do is weave baskets, so I use a product that's called Weave, and I buy it by the pound. And I get it in all the different sizes I want, flat, round, and what's called flat oval for rims. And all I have to do is cut it to my sizes or dye it the colors I want to dye it, and it just works out real good for me, and I'm not cutting down trees. So.
Well, if I was buying a basket, it'd be really hard for me to choose which basket to get because they all look really nice.
Well, thank you. That way, then you're supposed to buy two.
It's just like his blacksmith work. It'd be hard to pick out and everything what you want to take home because you want to take something, one of everything.
Yeah. Yeah. It can be like that sometimes for sure.
Well, thank you very much for letting me do this, and
Oh, no problem.
I'm gonna post this on YouTube because it's only fair. I'm gonna put him on his blacksmithing, so I've got to put you on your basket weaving too.
Oh, well, thank you very much. He doesn't always see things that way, so thank you.
Well, I try to be equal.
It's kind of nice to know some people do that.
Yeah, they put her name on my sign this year.
Well, I see that right there.
Yeah, it's the first time. They usually just put my name on there, blacksmith.
Well, her name needs to be on there
Somehow
too.
she got in on there too.
There you go.
I've never complained about it, but it is kind of nice to have your name out there where people can see it.
Well, you are gonna have your own video on YouTube and everything.
All right.
I'm not gonna run it in with his. It's gonna be separate, but it's gonna be on the same thing, you know. And, but anyway, thank you very much for letting me do this.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.